Vocabulary for business English. Action points. You might hear this at the end of a business meeting. Actions points are simply things that need to be done by someone, perhaps by you. Added value. An increase in the value of a resource, product, or service as the result of a particular process. In marketing, added value is something which makes a product more appealing to your customers. Advertise. To describe or draw attention to something for promotion. Let's advertise our event. Agenda. A written list of items or points to be discussed at a meeting. Agile. An agile business means a company can adapt to changing conditions and reinvent itself for continued success. Quick, smart, and clever. AGM. An annual general meeting, AGM, is a yearly gathering of a company's interested shareholders. Ahead of the pack. You can say that someone is ahead of the pack or leading the pack if they are ahead of everyone else in a race or competition. Align. In a business setting, to align is to make sure that all levels and employees are clear about the company's purpose and make decisions accordingly. At the end of the day, it doesn't relate to time. It means when everything is taken into consideration, or, ultimately, at the end of the day, we still need to open up new markets to sell more. Attached. An email attachment is a computer file sent within an email message. Authorization. Official permission. Back to the drawing board. It's time to start again because something isn't working. Bailout. An injection of public money into a failing institution to help someone with problems. It can also mean to stop doing something. Ballot. A system of secret voting. People place their ballot papers in a ballot box. In other words, the piece of paper you use in order to vote on something. Bandwidth. I'm afraid I don't have the bandwidth, a polite way of saying that you don't have the capacity to do something, or signaling that you aren't important enough for me to help you. Benchmarks. Standard for measuring or judging other things of the same type. Her performances set a new benchmark for our sales force. Best practice. A best practice is a method or technique that has been generally accepted as superior to any alternatives. Why? Because it produces results that are superior to those achieved conditions or ethical needs, by other means, or because it has become a standard way of doing things. It could be related to a standard way of complying with legal. Best regards. A nice way to finish an email. Other similar closings include best wishes, all the best, and warmly. Bleeding edge. The newest and most advanced part or position, especially in technology. Blockchain. A blockchain is a digitally distributed, decentralized public ledger that exists across a network. It is most noteworthy in use with cryptocurrencies. Brand. The term refers to a business and marketing concept that helps people identify a particular company, product, or individual. Budget. A budget is a way to balance income, expenses, and financial goals for a specific length of time. Business plan. A document used for raising finance. It summarizes the operational and financial objectives of a business. Think of it like a business's roadmap to success. If you don't know what a roadmap is, check below. By the book. To do something according to standard procedure, strictly following the rules. Call it a day. To agree to stop doing something, like closing a meeting that's been going on for ages. Capital. Capital is a large sum of money which you use to start a business or which you invest in order to make more money. CAPTCHA. A system used to make sure that you're a human being, not a machine, using the computer. Cash flow statement. Key amount of cash and cash equivalents entering and leaving a company. CEO. Chief Executive Officer. The highest-ranking executive of a business. Close a deal. To successfully agree a business deal. He was about to close the deal, but the client backed out. Competition. When businesses or people are trying to be more successful than each other, for example, by making more sales in a market. Conference call. A call in which someone talks to several people at the same time, either by phone or online. These are also called video calls, Zooms, online meetings. Consensus. A generally accepted opinion among a group of people or an agreement made by a group. Core business. The business that makes the most money for a company and that is considered to be its most important and central one. The car maker is to sell off its $1 billion technology arm to concentrate resources on its core business. Corner the market. To control the available supply of a type of product or the ability to sell it. The company has cornered 98% of the fried chicken market. Co-working. Workers from different companies who share an office space, also called shared office or flexible workspace, a popular new word for advanced business English words. Crowdfunding. A method of getting money for something, for example, a new film or album, by asking many people to give part of the money needed, often on the internet customer. Love your customer. This is a person or a company who buys goods or services from you, which ultimately is what gets you paid. Cut corners. It's when you do something quickly and in a less thorough way than you perhaps should, i.e., quick and cheap. Deadline. A date or time by which you have to do or complete something. The latest date to send the report is April 19th. Keep your cool. Dear. Business salutation. Start an email in English with Dear Maria. Debt. A sum of money that is owed or due. They haven't paid their debt yet. Decision. A choice or judgment that you make after a period of discussion or thought. My decision is to leave the organization. Her decision was to give me a raise. Deliverables. Something that a company has promised to have ready for a customer. A deliverable usually has an expiration date and is tangible, measurable, and specific. Department. A division of a large organization, i.e., the sales department. Digital marketing. Digital marketing. Using the internet, mobile devices, social media, search engines, display advertising, and other channels to reach consumers. Distribution. The action of sharing something out among a number of recipients. I'll distribute the English online sales numbers to you after this meeting so we can allocate resources. Dress code. The way that you're expected to dress at work or at an event. Drill down into. To examine or analyze something a bit more, in further depth. End user. The person, customer, etc., who is the final and actual, or real, user of a product. Entrepreneur. A person who starts a new business or arranges business deals in order to make money, often in a way that involves financial risks. ETA. Estimated time of arrival, i.e., her plane from New York arrives at 5 p.m. Feedback. Advice, criticism, etc. about how successful or useful something is. Your manager should give you feedback on how you're doing at work. Fire someone from a job. To force someone to leave their job to sack them. You terminate their work contract. Freelance. Someone who works independently for different companies rather than being employed by one particular company. Fringe benefits. Fringe benefits are additions to employee compensation, such as pension, paid time off, or a company car. Get down to business. To start working on what needs to be done. Get something off the ground. To begin to operate or proceed in a successful way. To put something into operation. Get the ball rolling. To set an activity in motion. Make a start. Gig economy. In a gig economy, large numbers of people work in part-time positions, as independent contractors, freelance, or with short-term contracts, as opposed to permanent jobs. Working in the gig economy means there's always last-minute scheduling. Go down the drain. To be lost or wasted. Go the extra mile. When you do more than one is required to do. Growth. An increase in amount, number, or size. We need to grow our company revenue by 15%. Guidelines. A general rule, principle, or piece of advice. Headquarters. The main building or offices used by a large company or organization. Helicopter view. A general survey of something. An overview of a situation without any details. Human resources, HR. The company department in charge of all employees and employee-related operations. Hybrid work. A hybrid work environment means that employees can work in office and remote from their home or a co-working space. In conclusion, it means to sum things up or finally. It's used in a piece of writing or a speech to show that you are about to finish what you are saying. Influencer. Someone with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service by promoting or recommending the items on social media, TikTok, Instagram, etc. Item. A single thing, especially one thing in a list, group, or set of things. Let's go to the next item on the agenda. Key point. The most important part. Know-how. Practical knowledge or skill. Expertise. We don't have the know-how in our company, so we need to hire a consultant. Laser-focused. Intensely paying attention to a single object, concept, person, or activity to the exclusion of everything else. Launch. To start something. Usually something big or important. Leadership. The position or function of a leader, a person who guides or directs a group. Leadership refers to the qualities that make someone a good leader, or the methods a leader uses to do his or her job. League tables. A league table is a ranking of companies based on a set of criteria, such as revenue, earnings, deals, or any other relevant metrics. Learn the ropes. If you are learning the ropes, you are learning how a particular job or task is done. If you're asked to show him the ropes, it means you should help someone to learn something. Let go. When you talk about letting someone go, it means you are thinking about firing them, ending their contract, i.e., it's not their choice to leave the business. Leverage. If you have leverage, you hold the advantage in a situation or the stronger position in a contest, physical or otherwise. Leverage is to use something that you already have in order to achieve something new or better. Talk to her. She has leverage with the board. Long shot. An attempt or guess that has only the slightest chance of succeeding or being accurate. It's a long shot, but worth trying. Loop. The meaning of loop is to have, or not have, the special knowledge or power that belongs to a particular group of people. I'm outside the loop on that is a comfortable excuse. Low-hanging fruit. This means the obvious or easy things that can be most readily done or dealt with in achieving success or making. Main point. The most important part, similar to key point. Make redundant. To dismiss an employee who is no longer needed from a job. He was dismissed last Friday. So yeah, he was fired. Market leader. The market leader is a business that has either the greatest market share for a product or generates the most revenue in money terms. They are the online market leaders. Market research. To do market research is to gather information about consumers' needs and preferences. It could be a process to evaluate the feasibility of a new product or service through research conducted directly with consumers. Merchandise. Any product that your organization can sell or buy, any good for sale is merchandise. Some examples include food in a supermarket, clothes in a retail store, electronics on a website, or raw materials in a manufacturing warehouse. Metaverse. Relatively new vocabulary, a virtual reality space online in which users can interact with a computer-generated environment and other users. Micromanage. When a boss micromanages, he or she controls and manages all the parts and details, however small, of your work in an annoying way. Minutes. Anthony wrote the minutes of the online meeting. It's the written record of everything that's happened during a meeting. Miss, Mrs., Mr. Titles. These are related to how you address someone. Notice how there are 3 versions for women and only 1 for men? Use Ms. when you are not sure of a woman's marital status. Mission statement. A mission statement is a concise explanation of the organization's reason for existence. It describes the organization's purpose and its overall intention. Mute. You need to mute yourself when you're in an online meeting. Make sure your microphone is turned off. No strings. If there are no strings attached to an offer or arrangement, there is nothing that is unpleasant that you have to accept. There are no special conditions you need to keep in mind. Non-core assets. Assets, things or people that are not necessary for a company to carry on its business in the ordinary course or simply no longer used in a company's business operations. Not going to fly. Something is not going to succeed or work. Objective. A business objective is a result that a company aims to achieve. It also includes the strategies that people will use to get there. On the same page. If you're on the same page, a group of people are working well together and have the same goals. Opportunity cost. The value of the next best thing you give up whenever you make a decision. It's the potential loss from a missed business opportunity